You will drown in eternal night.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and to another Mortal Kombat mobile character review. Today we are taking a closer look at Marksman Kung Jin, one of the characters that is pretty much one of the least popular amongst the MK mobile community, so let's take a look. Marksman Kung Jin is part of the martial artist class and his passive is called Ancestral Shot. Kung Jin's finishing arrow from his combo ender inflicts unique effects: life drain, stun or fire. Marksman Kung Jin started his career in the MKX mobile days and was introduced with update 1.8. Alongside with him we had a ton of character releases such as Kobujutsu Tanya, Dark Emperor Liu Kang, Cold War Scorpion, Dark Lord Kotal Khan, High-Tech Jackie Briggs and Classic Kano, all in one update. He has always been a challenge card, and even comparing the passives from now and back then, nothing has changed here either. He was maxed out with level 50 and Fusion 7. The first time he was available was via his early access pack, and it's a quite beautiful designed one on top. After you completed his challenge for the first time, he was available for 350 souls in the old store. He is also available in the challenge pack and of course several other packs as well. And of course he can also drop as a potential reward at the end of a Faction Wars season. In the new store he is up for purchase for 450 souls like all challenge characters. And after the level cap was raised with update 1.18, he's now maxed out with level 60 and Fusion X. Kung Jin's gear piece is the Shaolin Bow and it gives you 25% critical hit chance boost, 50% chance to drain 33% power on special attack 2, which is for Kung Jin characters only, and 25% damage boost against enemies affected by bleed or poison. In terms of his feats of strength, he will have to perform 250 X-ray/fatal blow attacks to unlock his rune. For his victory stances he has to win 750 matches in Faction Wars. For his taunts he has to perform 3000 combo enders. For his icons he has to perform 1500 special 2 attacks. For his backgrounds he has to knock out 1000 enemies. And for his titles he has to win 200 matches in challenge mode. And now we are going to take a look at the victory stances one by one, starting with victory. Next up we have warming up. Third would be the Staff Slam. And exclusive for Marksman Kung Jin only, the Take Aim. And on your victory screen it will look like this. Now I'm going to show you all of his backgrounds. Next up we have the icons. And finally the titles. Marksman Kung Jin only has one combo ender, but that one is tied to his passive. But if you just take a look at the combo ender as it is, he will just knock the opponent back, while the other basic attack kind of knocks the opponent off his feet, but that is not part of the combo ender. His special 1 attack is called Split Shot and is done a little more artistic than the special 1 attacks of his other variations, Bujutsu and Shaolin, so they added a little bit of extra here, and his special 1 is also capable of knocking out your opponent. His special 2 attack is called Serving Blow and it has a luck buff tied to it. This attack is also capable of knocking out your opponent, and it is for sure one of the better looking special 2 attacks we have in the game right now. The only thing that you really need to be aware of is that if you use his basic attacks and directly perform the special 2, the first attacks will miss and only the final blow will connect with the opponent, but at least the special attack is capable of knocking out as well. His X-ray attack is called Staph Infection and it is identical with his other 2 variations, Bujutsu and Shaolin, and on top it has a blindness effect tied to it. Blindness can cause your opponent to whiff on basic attacks, so it's kind of semi-useful, but it isn't amazing either. So here I'm going to show you how the effects of the passive look here, in this case Life Drain. You will get a little bit of health back if you are performing that one. Here we have the fire, that is kind of self-explaining, especially given the fact that we have many characters with the fire debuff. And here with the stun we have pretty much the most useful part of his passive. Unfortunately, we cannot select. So now it's time to recommend some gear again, and my first choice here would be Spectre's Infernal Chains. I simply like the idea that he can power drain with a special 1 attack. Then we could use Moloch's Ball and Chain for the chance of unblockable special attacks and also the chance to get a special 2 attack for free. The Rusty Chainsaw would be another great addition if you want to cut power costs of special 2s in half and on top want to have some basic block breaker. My number 4 would be the Vial of Infinite Blood, depending on what kind of weapon you are using, for example like the Devastator or the Wrathhammer. Giving the block breaker then via the accessory slot is always a good thing, and on top you can cause bleed with combo enders on top, which kind of would expand his passive a little bit. But the winner in my book and my absolute favorite for Marksman Kung Jin is the Bladed Fan, having the chance for block breaker on basic attacks, but also the ability to gain health on special 1 use, so basically you could expand his passive in that way that you not only are able to heal on combo enders but also on special attack 1. You could even go that extra step further and use, for example, the Bound Demon, so you can also have that effect on special 2 attacks. My personal favorite combination for Marksman Kung Jin would be Moloch's Ball and Chain, combining that with the extra critical hit chance and the health boost from Shao Kahn's helmet, and of course the Vial of Infinite Blood, for obvious reasons. When it comes to character recommendations, why not go with Shaolin Fist Kung Lao? Every time when Kung Lao knocks out an opponent, martial artists will have increased power generation, which is pretty great for Marksman Kung Jin then in return. To add a little extra for his health, you could use Cryomancer Sub-Zero. If you rather go with damage, go with Ninjutsu Scorpion. Or you could have like Aftershock Tremor in your team and have an extra block break chance on Netherrealm characters, since his passive involves mainly combo enders and therefore needs block breakers anyway. I think using Aftershock Tremor is quite a fun idea. But once again, the winner in my book is Hell Spawn Scorpion, 1.5 bars of starting power for martial artist characters. That is a no-brainer. On paper, Marksman Kung Jin for sure looks like a very interesting character. But somehow I, and pretty much the rest of the MK Mobile community, don't really agree with that point, and that is mainly due to his passive. Simply that you are not able to choose which effect you want to inflict on your opponent can be quite a liability, especially if you are facing characters like Dark Raiden or MK11 Jade, and setting those on fire is not a good idea. The life drain is quite a nice addition to that one, although it doesn't really do that much. So in other words, it doesn't give you that much health back. The most useful one is the stun, and it would be actually the most interesting one if we technically only would have the stun, and that one kind of guaranteed on a combo ender. But the way it is, we have to rely on chance. So then let's have a quick look at the pros and cons. My first pro would be a high damage special 2. Unfortunately, that one can whiff if you are using your basic attacks, so pretty much he is hindering himself, which is in this case not really a pro, so the only pro is really the damage output here. Then I like the fact that he is able to stun. The stun on combo ender is extremely useful, especially when you follow that up with a special attack then, which of course then will be unblocked and you can deal the full amount of damage. And as a third one, I would say that he has a quite solid special 1 attack. The damage is okay, and I also like how quick it can be performed, so this is just like if you need to deal some damage and you need to deal it right now, a special 1 is done in less than a second, and it is quite fun to use. When it comes to the negatives, my first con would be that he is very boring to play. There is nothing special about Marksman Kung Jin, and there are so many other characters who are much better, so in this case, the more obvious choice, Marksman Kung Jin kind of collects dust in your collection. My second con is especially the special 2 that can partly whiff if you just use your own basic attacks, and that is absolute stupidity in my opinion, because like if you are using your own basic attacks and then are not able to perform your own special attacks because of that, that makes it very bad in my opinion. My third and final con would be that the passive effects are completely random. You have no chance to select if you want to use health drain or life drain, stun or fire, and therefore you are completely dependent on the game's mercy to give you the right buff or debuff in the right situation, which is never good if you are trying to play with a strategy. When it comes to a final rating, I will give Marksman Kung Jin a 6 out of 10. He is okay, he can deal some solid damage, and it can be quite a lot of fun to use him and just try out different combinations and also experiment with a variety of different gear pieces. But overall, he doesn't really have what it takes to be a really great character in this game, and therefore he ends up with basically a little above average. Well, that was Marksman Kung Jin in a nutshell for you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed this character review. This channel, as of today, just reached 400 subscribers, and I once again want to thank you all for your trust and your support. And there are some really fun conversations in the comments with you guys, so thanks a lot for everything. Thank you for tuning in once again, and as usual, I will be back with the next video very soon. Until then, you can choose one of the 2 videos that are up here right now. Please like, comment and subscribe. And also don't forget to click the bell notification icon so you will be informed every time when I upload a new video. Take care, Casey over and out for today.